Hey everyone, this is TokenGuy, and I am here talking about Meteora and the basics of DLMMing. So to start here, I'll talk about some basic things. And so DLMMing is liquidity providing. You're doing it with a dynamic liquidity market maker, DLMM. Liquidity providing basically means that you're providing money. In this instance, we're on Solana, so we'll be providing Solana or other coins on the Solana blockchain. We provide two pairs of coins together to be able to have them be traded back and forth. And whenever they are traded and they go through our pool that we either enter into or we create, people pay fees for that, and we get to earn those fees. The idea of this is that we're providing liquidity, and there's some risk to that. But for doing so, we get fees for people trading it, and then we can earn money off this over time. And so we'll look at a few basic different pools that you could set up on Meteora. We're going to be looking at Meteora pools here under DLMM. And one of the most basic ones is the Sol USDC. The reason why is because this has the most TVL. Sol and USDC is one of the most swapped tokens on Solana. So you can click here. You'll be able to select from one of these pools. The bin steps are essentially the amount of steps or the amount of percent that a token price needs to move before it swaps between bins. It kind of is a general range that your pool will be set up in, as we are dynamic liquidity market makers are concentrated liquidity pools, meaning that you focus them on one area of price range, which I'll show you in just a moment. And so we're going to click on the bin 20 step here, bin step 20, with a 0.2% fee. So this is the base fee that we charge people whenever they buy or sell the Solana to USDC or USDC to Solana, and they go through our pool. You can see here the current balance. You can see that we can add a position here. And so we'll go ahead and add liquidity. In this instance, you're basically providing two pairs of tokens. So you can swap if you need to here. But basically, you just need to have some Solana as well as some USDC. And then you'll be able to create a pool that is pairing both of those together. And so if we go here and we say, okay, we're going to put in $2,000, you can autofill it, meaning that it'll put the equivalent of the amount of Solana you need on this side. There's a few different strategies you can select. These I'm not going to get into at this moment. That'll be in a different guide. But you can select one of these. I'll select the spot strategy because this is a general overall good strategy to use. And then you can see here the bins that are set up. And so because this is the basic guide, we'll go over this at a minimal level. But essentially, these are all like little liquidity pools that are all put together. On the blue side here, on the downside, you can see that there's USDC, an equal amount of $58.82 in every pool. And on the top side, you can see that there's Solana, and it's not equal. It actually goes down in price because as the price of Solana moves up, the amount of Solana in each of these pools, you need less on the way up because each Solana is worth more. And so to make these bins equal in value, the amount of Solana has to go down as it moves up, because as the price of Sol goes up, the less that you would need. And so as the price of Sol moves up and down, these bins will get filled and move up and down, and you'll earn 0.2% every time someone makes a swap through your pool, and you'll earn fees as it moves up and down. And so you can see the range down here is negative 6.57, and over here it's positive 7.03. And so that would put us between the range of 212.57 Sol all the way up to 243.51 Sol. Now you can adjust these ranges manually on either side like this. The max number of bins is 69. And so if you reduce that down, you can see the bins change. And so this is how you would set up a pool. Again, this is the bin step. To go over this again, the bin step is how much percentage or how many steps need to be taken before it moves from one bin to the other. So you can see it's starting here. And so 20 would actually end up being about 0.2%. So if the price of Sol moved 0.2%, then it would move back and forth as it does that. And then one thing about dynamic market makers like this, DLMMs, is that there's a dynamic fee. And during high volume situations on coins, this dynamic fee may increase. So instead of 0.2%, it may be 0.3% that it charges in that case, with a max of up to 10%, it looks like there. And that's the gist of it, how you would set up your pool. And so we would just come here, we'd click add liquidity, and then we would accept the transaction and create the pool. And so that's the basics of how you would set up a pool on Meteora to create a DLMM liquidity pool specifically.